I must commend Statistical Service for this report, because that will help us inform future decisions and come up with policies to help address the situation. Indeed, the report is evidence-based, and so we will say what is really happening on the ground. We will talk about what is happening on the ground. We are working in sort of rural and deprived communities, and we corroborate the report. We accept the report, because indeed, that is really what is happening. Take child marriage, for example. It's happening, and it's sad.
In the northern region, the numbers are, I don't know the right word to use. If I should use crazy or I should use, I don't know the right word to use, because looking at the numbers in the northern region alone is very worrying.
Very worrying. And we need to take steps to address the situation. Apart from child marriage, we have issues around poverty affecting children, especially girls in some of these communities. They end up engaging in transactional sex. They also end up in rape, child marriages, and so on and so forth. And all is having the base as poverty-driven. And it is worrying. Children of 12 years get married off to men of about 50 years. Can you imagine? And it's happening live. There is no law explicitly addressing this child marriage issue. The SDGs are there for us to achieve. But if you look at the SDGs, it is a cross-cutting theme for all children, for everybody, including children. But the children are not explicitly, issues around children are not explicitly addressed in these SDGs. If you look at the data, it will be very surprising that people are doing this and there is no law, no human right-based law that should come into play when it comes to the abuse of these things. Now, we are also looking at gender parity. Ghana has done so well with the gender parity issues. The literature is clear. But at the local level, there are still issues. People have the cultural, socio-cultural practices where boys are preferred more than girls in going to school. Certain gender roles. They say, oh, the boy should rather take this stage and then the girl goes this direction. All impacting. Now, I must admit that currently in Ghana here, the issues and the prevalence are very alarming, and we need to make steps and efforts to address it. Otherwise, like the question you are asking, the future, how will it look like when we seed the scene for our upcoming children to take up? Unfortunately, it will be very damning for us. So this is the time, and with the data that we have, we need to come up with serious policies that will, especially with children, we have to come out with a policy on their human rights.
But do we have enough schools? It's another thing altogether.
Let me add to it.
Please,
we did a report, Proximity to Essential Services. And we realized that some of these communities, as per the regions that we have this problem, distance to the facility is an issue, right? Distance to the facility. You realize that in the north, especially the savannah, the distance from the residential to the educational facility is an issue. So for me, if I am staying in a community where my child will need to walk about more than 3 kilometers, a child who is 4, 5 years, walking more than 3 kilometers to school, I'll prefer that the child stays with me. So these are the realities on the ground that are also affecting some of these.